Hey, what's going on everybody on YouTube? How's everybody doing? I'm doing just fine. Doing awesome actually. So today, welcome back to another episode of Blondskunk's Building World. Now today, well, got a little something special to show you. I've got a little carried away with building and everything, and that's a good thing, because most of the time, I can get pretty demotivated, and it's not too good. Because sometimes I won't be able to think of projects that I'll really enjoy building. Like, sometimes I'll just build the build, and then very rarely is it just I'm building for the love of building, right? Like Skunkerton Castle, I loved building that on Afterlife, or like building the courthouse, you know, that type of stuff. Where I can find a big building that I really enjoy. And this has been it for me. And I've just been taking it to the max in building this because it's been so much fun. I don't know why, but I just love it. I love the way it's going. And it seems like you guys do love it as well. I posted a picture on Twitter and it blew up a little bit, let's just say. It blew up a little bit more than my other tweets. So that was nice. So thank you guys for that. And yeah, it's looking pretty darn good. The only thing is we need a name for this castle. And if you guys have any suggestions, my suggestion was sort of like something with guard in it, so like Stone Guard Castle, something like that, I think would be pretty cool. Because I was thinking about putting a village around here, and it'll all depend on what the village is going to be, I would say. So like something like that. So if it was like a mining village where the resources were mainly focused on mining, then it would be called Stone Guard Castle, basically. So I think that would be really, really cool. So if you guys have any suggestions on names for the castle, do let me know down in the comments below. But without further ado, let's take a look at this thing, because my goodness, is it big. Just to fit it in frame, I have to stand back on this mountain all the way over here. And yeah, it's really coming along and I love it. Definitely one of my bigger castles, for sure. I haven't built a castle in this scale in a very long time, and it feels good to build it in a world that we're going to be in for a good while. And I love it. I love the idea of that. And I feel like this is definitely going to be worth it. So that's why I'm taking this to the max and building this up. As you can see, some parts of it are not finished yet. I'm still unsure of what I would like to do with these parts here, because I might want to do something a bit crazier. So like this side right here is very barren compared to the other side, like very boring. As you can see now, most of you might be like, "Ooh, that looks cool," nevertheless. But this side over here, in comparison with the other side, is very boring. It doesn't have a lot going on, whereas the other side does. We have this giant bridge. We have like layers on layers of castle on top of each other. We have banners and everything, and that's mainly due to the fact that this is pretty much complete over on this side. Regarding the bridge, we're going to be doing this today, which I think is going to be a really cool project to work on. We're also going to be working on the Stone Guard Tower, or whatever this would be called. I want to call it Stone Guard, I really do. But I want suggestions from you guys, because I think it would be cool to call it something that you guys would be interested in calling it. I think that would be really, really cool, because I think this would be the main castle of this world, the center piece of this world, and for it to be, it needs to be called something really epic. So that's why I wanted some suggestions from you guys. So really think on that. I think that would be really cool. But anyway, so yeah, we'll be working on this today. We'll be building this out. I did a little bit just to get it started, and I mean, again, I'm just getting carried away with building, but again, that's not a bad thing. That's always a good thing for me, and I love it. But building this out, and we're going to get this good going today, so that's going to be really, really cool. So before we do that, though, I want to check out the interior, because, well, I did a little bit to the interior, not too much. Because you can see here, we have this nice little center part here, where we're sort of just walking in, and I might just leave it like this. And I know there's a lot more we could probably do, but I like the simplicity of it. It's very clean looking, and I love it. As you can see here, I like this. I think this is pretty much complete up here, this roof. So that looks pretty good. And we have this little walkway out here. This leads to the, the middle layer of the castle. the little balcony on the middle there, and you can see over here the bridge where we were standing all the way over there. That's where we were standing, just to fit this castle in the frame. That's where we were standing, all the way out there, which is crazy. And then this leads us into the throne room. So this whole castle is like connected. It has little corridors that you can walk around. So this middle section of the castle, the bigger section of it. And this is the entry hall again. So you can just see, like, man, we are just going all the way around. And you can go out here, and this will lead you over in this area. And then we can go over here, back around, and this will lead us into the throne room again. Which, by the way, I love this throne. This is really, really cool. Looking good. I have to fix this up a little bit. I have a little bit more I want to do to this. But for that, I mean, the interior will come later on. You know, I want to make sure the interior looks just as good as the exterior does. But I think that's going to be a competition for another time for the interior, because my goodness, the exterior is just dominating right now. It looks really, really good. Glare, get out of here. Glare, super shaders. Can't see the castle. But I think this right now is the castle's best angle over here. This this part right here. Boom. Like, I think that right there is just $1 million shot for this castle with the ocean in it and everything like that. So looking really cool. But what I want to do today is build out, probably start with the tower. If we don't get this all done today, we're going to just at least get the tower done today. That's what I want to work on, and just getting that all good to go. So that's something. This is going to be really cool. But I want to talk about, like, just building in general and all that stuff. Building big structures and all that stuff, because I like to talk about this from time to time and update you on my info, I guess you can say, on the building in Minecraft, and just my idea behind it and all that stuff. Because you know, I get a lot of questions all the time I get a lot of questions saying, how do you build such massive buildings with such good detail? Like, how do you do it? And you know, it's gonna be the answer that you give to a lot of things in life is practice. Lots and lots of practice. You know, this castle would not be possible 5 years ago when I first started building. And when you think about it, like 5 years ago, wow, that's actually a pretty good while. And yeah, I've been building for a good while since Minecraft came out. You know, I started just like everybody, like, where I didn't really have a purpose for playing Minecraft. I was just playing it just for the fun of it, right? And now I play it because I love the building aspect of it. And I've always have. You know what I mean? I always have enjoyed the building aspect of it, but even more than ever, I have enjoyed it a lot more over the years. Which is really, really cool. And I love that I'm able to still enjoy this, because a lot of people don't really enjoy the building, or really Minecraft in general, as much anymore, because of really what it's become. You know, the little kids game is what it's being referred to as now. But I still like to think of it as my sandbox, you know, my idea creator, basically, where I can just come up with different ideas and enjoy that. Because for me, I love castles. You know, they are my favorite type of structure in the world. And for me to create my own in this game, I mean, take away the blocks, take away everything, and there you go. You, like, stand back. You know, I was showing this to my mom the other day, because she walked in on this castle, and she was like, whoa, this is insane. Like, what is this, you know? And you turn on the shaders, you know, you stand back, you look at it, let all the blocks blend together, and what do you got? Architecture. And that's what this is. I mean, it's a big, you know, massive structure design. It's a design of a big, massive structure. It's not just a game at that point. It is more than a game. It is a, you know, fantasy reality in a way. You know what I mean? Like, this is my mind coming to life with all these ideas. And that is my answer to the question of, how do you do these big, massive structures? Because that's the way my mind perceives these things to be. Like, it takes the idea of a castle to the extreme and building it out and going crazy with it. And I think a lot of builders can say that, because we don't really have a direct answer for, like, yeah, we could say years and years of, like, years of practice, right, in building in Minecraft for a good while. But building something like this, you just have to have the mind for it. The creativity for it. And if you don't, then, you know, you're not really going to get far, are you? And don't let that bring you down, because you can create your own style in mind for it. Think of a style that you love to build, and let me tell you something, you will do it more and more and more, and you will enjoy it more and more and more. And that's what castles were for me. And I got a lot of questions saying, oh, look at that, it's just a generic Blondskunk build, you know, building the same thing over and again, using the same sort of blocks in a way, using a type of log plus the planks, and then using the stone, brick, and cobblestone. And if you tear this castle down to the bare bones of it all, it still is a Blondskunk build. It's not a build that is anything new. It still uses the cobblestone and the stone bricks and the, you know, some sort of oak log, or no, not oak logs, but surprisingly it's not using oak logs, right? Because that's what I would normally go with. But you tear it down to its bare minimum, and that's what it is. It's not anything really that special, but the design of it is. And so that's what I like to think of building, is that if you find your way about it, you can really make it something special. And I think that's what we've done here with this castle, and just making it really, really cool. And I've built many castles over the years. I've built so many different designs. You know, I have favorites. You know, I have favorite castles and all that stuff. This one probably being my favorite right now. That could change though if I ever build another one. But for now, I think it would be my favorite. What else? What else is there? You know, I have like different versions of the same castle, so like a lot of things like that come into play as well. You know, trying different things out with building sort of the same sort of castle, but you know, don't be afraid to keep building the same stuff and keep practicing on the same stuff. Even though you might get brought down about your stuff, because I've got brought down about my building before. Don't think it's all positive, because when you're building, you're gonna get, you know, some comments sometimes. Before, like, I was on this server, and I think I was building something for somebody, and they said, wow, it took you 1 hour to build this tower. And guys, this was not a normal tower, okay? This was a tower that probably started from from the base of this, for where this ocean is, up to probably the top of here. So it came from that ocean to this right here, to its tippy top. That's a big tower, okay? This tower right here is not going to be as big as that. It might get close, but it's not. It's also going to be skinnier as well. That tower had a circle radius, I think of like, what was it? I don't know. It was like 11 blocks. So yeah, it was a big tower. And it took me 1 hour to build that. Excuse me. But that's the part of it. That's what you got to kind of take in as like, okay, you know, obviously this person's not a builder. They don't really know the ideas behind it or what's going into it. So that kind of stuff, you know, you got to let pass by you with anything, really. Anything in life, you know, if you are determined to do something, I suggest you go ahead and just go freaking do it. It's not just a meme, it's serious. Just go do it. Seriously, because if you hold back on it, then you're never going to get anywhere with it. And that would not be good. That would not be a good thing. So my suggestion to you with anything in life is go ahead and go out there and just, you know, keep pursuing what you want to do. Even though it might stay as a hobby, even though it could become a career. You just want to make sure that you're doing what you want to do. Okay? And this isn't a career that I would want to pursue, right? But if it did become a career, this Minecraft building thing, for some reason, if it did, you know, that would be the dream, right? It would be awesome. But would it? Probably not. but I'm going to keep doing it. Is my point. I'm not going to stop because this is something that I love to do. And negativity and all that stuff, it might bring you down, but you just got to keep coming back from it and building yourself back up, because you can't stop what you love to do, because the positive will outweigh the negatives. But for some reason, the negatives can be so hurting. Hurting. There you go. That's a new word. Can hurt so much that really it can outweigh the negatives. Just one little negative can outweigh like 20 positives, right? Sometimes. Not in all situations, but sometimes. Because it's happened to me before. I just told you with that, but it's also happened with many different things, with losing little building competitions and everything like that. Like, that shows some negative light, because you build because I can build myself up. I like to think of that I build myself up to be this master builder, right? This, and then you get built in a building competition, and then that kind of, lowers your standards. It lowers your, I guess your hopes, right? And it's like, oh man, I kind of lost that, but it's whatever. You know what I mean? And again, that applies to anything. And I just want to say, like, one more thing. Like, make sure that you're doing what you love to do. Again, make sure that you are pursuing what you want to do in life. Make sure you're happy with what you're doing, because it can make a big difference in your life and everybody else's if you're happy and the way that everything is going in your life, and then that way you can help others in some way. So it's just really, really a good thing to focus on, is just, being happy and just being who you want to be. So who would have known Minecraft building can lead into like an inspirational conversation starter? But let me tell you, this stuff, I tell you, it's more than building, and it truly is. It can bring some, very positive light over a nice little subject just to talk about and everything like that. So, and I know sometimes these conversations can get a little bit boring sometimes, and I know a lot of some people don't really enjoy the talky part of these Blondskunk building worlds, and a lot of people do. But I just want you guys to be encouraged by like what I'm saying here, because sometimes you need a little bit of pick-me-up in your life, instead of the negativity, because sometimes our lives can be just filled with a lot of negativity and a lot of like realism, or being too realistic, that it can just dawn on you a little bit. And so I just want this to be as a little like, hey, it's okay type of video, and more of a hey, it's okay type of topic, because I need that sometimes, and if you guys needed it, there you go. So there, but I tend to have more like not controversial topics, because I want to kind of stick away from that. I do not like drama at all. I tried doing it before on my Blondskunk Let's Play series, but everybody enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it deep down inside. I thought it wasn't too great. So we're gonna keep trying to do more of positivity on the channel and less of the negativity. We're gonna just try to keep positive here and try to keep this like a hangout type of environment, a chill environment, to turn away from the bad things in this world. Because let me tell you, this world is nuts. Like what happened in Virginia a little bit ago, or this past weekend or this past week. I think it was this past week. That type of stuff. I don't want this to sort of bring the attention to it. I want it to bring the attention away from it, because you can't always dawn on the negative. So that's what I want this channel to be, and that's what we're gonna make it to be. So there you go. But yeah, this tower is coming along pretty good. I'm liking it so far. As you can see, the detail on it is not heavy, but it's pretty good so far. I would give this a nice little rating if I was rating this build, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad, and I'm liking it so far. So it's pretty good. What I want to do here is, as I'm thinking about adding a more fancier topper on this. Not so much of a battlements and crenellations, more of the palacey type of, I guess, topper to it. It's not going to be a defensive tower. It'll be more of the decorative tower. And I don't know what this would be, like, for a castle. Maybe it's a lookout tower. One interesting idea I had for this tower was to make it a lighthouse, which we could still do very easily. At the current state of building this, we could do this very easily by building a nice little lighthouse, because then we can add a village down here, a nice little village going along this lake, and then the lighthouse, and we'll have boats out here and everything. That could be really, really cool. Now that I think about it, I might want to do that. But we'll see. We could always change it later. We'll just make it a regular tower for now, and then we'll see how it goes when the time comes. I don't know if this is big enough. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know. This doesn't feel as grand as I want it to feel. Because I want it to have, like, this, like, wow, that's a big tower type of thing. Take that how you please. But, yeah, I want it to feel like it's got I don't know, I just feel like it's got a grand appeal to it. And not so much of this, like, stubby appeal. Maybe it's the logs that are doing it for me. I don't know what's happening here. Could use structure blocks to just build it up a little bit. But I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add this little ring here. And this will be like a little... just a decorative little piece here. Nothing too fancy going on. We're just going to build it up just a little bit more. Let's make this all equaled out. And again, you guys can probably copy this tower, I assume, because it's building most of this on camera, so that's pretty nice. I love when we can do that for builds, because it acts as like a little tutorial as well, which is nice. So we'll probably make these stairs. I'm thinking I should probably stand back and look at it before I change them all, but hey, what are you gonna do? So just like this, we'll do that. Yeah, that's probably fine, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or something like that. Something like that. Just build it up, whatever. And we'll build this up a little bit more. And, oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that one... I want to go back to that one topic that we talked about in the last episode. So we had this idea, or I had this idea, to bring my big afterlife buildings into this series here. And a lot of you really liked that idea. So we are going to be adding those over time. So I have to get the builds from Mr. All Out J, so we have to transfer all that stuff over, but we're not going to put them in this world until the time is right. And so basically what I'm trying to say is we're not going to put them in the world until we have a project for them that we can base the project around. So you might not see Skunkerton Castle for a little while, just because I'm definitely going to want to hold that off until we build like a kingdom around it or something like that, or a village or something, just so we can have a whole project, just so it's not like, okay, there's Skunkerton Castle. That's kind of like I would say, kind of cheating this series in a way, because it's just copy and pasting another build. Even though I did build that build, it just doesn't feel like that build is, I guess, for this world. Like, it's not a project for this world. It's just sort of like been copy and pasted in here. So we kind of want to put more around it and turn it into more of a project instead of just one build just out in the open, like, for some reason. So we kind of want to make it have a little bit of a story behind it and all that stuff, all that mumbo jumbo. So we'll do that eventually when the time comes. As like we did with the apple farm, we have like a little story going around it. So yeah, that's kind of what we want to do. Excuse me. Voice is like going out on me when you talk for a little bit. You gotta keep some water handy, but I didn't do that, so oh well. We'll just have to stick it out. Stick it out. But yeah, so we'll be doing that in the near future, adding those builds in. We'll be adding in the courthouse, the town hall. I don't think we'll be adding in the town hall. We'll be adding in the courthouse, and I believe the Skunkerton Castle will be adding in as well. Those are the only builds that we'll be adding into from Afterlife into this world. And for those of you that didn't catch last episode and are wondering like why are we going to be adding those in here, well, it's mainly because season 2 is kind of done at the moment for Afterlife. I think we're all in agreement that season 2 is pretty much done, and we're going to be maybe starting season 3 soon. We don't really know. All that stuff has to be decided in the near future. So definitely keep your eyes out for that and future announcements for Afterlife. So. But that's basically the reason why I'm moving all those builds into this world, is because I want to kind of preserve them in a way. I want to make sure that they are we can still like look at them and still be like, hey, there's Skunkerton Castle type of thing. So I thought it would be a pretty cool idea, and everybody else who watched last episode thought it would be a pretty cool idea. So I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing. And a really unique idea as well. You don't usually do that. You don't incorporate other builds from other places into this. But since they are my builds, and since I did build them and all that stuff, yeah, I figured why not. So that's going to be really, really neat. Alright, so I just went here and did a little bit of off-camera work. Just jumped ahead a little bit and finished up that top part of the tower. Started adding a little bit of detail in. I think I'm going to have to come back like later on and just go ahead and just go crazy with the detailing and trying to make it look really, really, really good. But for now, I think this will do. I think this will be pretty much the complete state of the tower as of right now. Because, my gosh, does it look pretty cool. Nevertheless, really looking awesome. Loving the way this is looking, and there's always little details and everything that we can add to it later on and all that stuff. So I'm sure I'll come back to this and change it up even more. But for now, I think this will do. I think this will be what we'll say. Hey, this is where we're gonna leave it for now. But it looks pretty cool nevertheless. We'll take a step back in just a minute here. Let me just complete all this. I just want to add these little finicky little things that probably don't really have to be added, but I just see it as it needs to be added, so it's whatever. So it's fine. So let's add this in here. There we go, last little one. Boom, and I think I did that other side as well, so there you go. Pretty cool. But yeah, here we go. Here's the tower. For me, it's kind of square, but if you step back and look at it a little bit, it kind of works for the castle that we have over there. So it matches up, so that's fine. So if it works, it works. If we head over to this side of this castle, like we're coming from the apple farm. So like if we go down on the ground a little bit, turn on, or turn off F1 or whatever, turn off, turn on. And go over here, you can see it kind of peaks around that mountain there, which is really, really cool. That's a really cool effect. You can see the castle off in the distance. So from this view, it doesn't even look like it's part of the castle until you see the bridge in the distance. So that's really, really cool. I like how things sort of just appear as you get closer and closer to it, and it all starts to make sense. But yeah, this castle is really coming along. I'm loving this project. But for now, I think I'm going to end the episode here. We completed this massive tower today, and my goodness, does that look awesome. Look, I think that right there is probably the screenshot for today's video. I'm going to zoom in here and get a nice little, whoa, baby. Look at that thumbnail right there. No, castle, don't disappear on me. Don't do that. Load in just a little bit more. Perfect. Boom. My goodness, is that beautiful. Love it. But that is going to do it for today's episode. Again, let me know what some name suggestions you have for the castle. I don't care if you go on like a name generator or if you just think of one off the top of your head. Whatever, just, we'll come up with some ideas for what we can call it and all that stuff. And we'll think of more of what we can add around it and everything. Hopefully you enjoyed the topic today. Hopefully you liked just the little inspirational type of little video today, or a little topic that we were talking about in today's episode. Again, I feel like I need that sometimes. Sometimes I just need to say it out loud, or if you guys need it, it helps you as well. Just the positivity, you know what I mean? In this world of bad stuff that happens from time to time, we just need that little bit of pick me up type of little talk there. So without further ado, let's end the episode. But that is gonna do it. And as always, don't forget to be awesome. And I'll see you guys next time.